tonight. Scales on the slab, slow as a prayer. It dragged through the dark with the chain on its stare. Leviathan is coming. Leviathan is coming. Out of the lair and into the light. Leviathan is coming. Lorraine, you better hold tight, hold tight, hold tight.
And good evening, everybody. Welcome to The Lair, your official podcast for Lorain County Leviathan FC, part of the Land Multimedia Group. I'm Ethan Greenberg. Alongside me is my co-host, Drew Hagenbaugh. And tonight, special guest, assistant coach, Amir Kettani. Welcome in, everybody, on this Sunday evening, the eve of the home opener for Leviathan. Drew, how are you this evening?
Doing great, man. Spurs didn't get relegated, so it's a great day.
Yes, that is a great day, especially when us here in Northeast Ohio, it's been bleak over the past 24 hours or so. Amir Kettani, Amir, coach, how are you doing this evening, sir? How excited are you?
Great. Yeah, super excited. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, absolutely. So glad to have you on as we get to know all of the personalities of the coaching staff and everything that's going on behind the scenes for Leviathan, as this is the inaugural season for Leviathan. You've got one game in the books, and the opener, the home opener, is tomorrow afternoon, Memorial Day, 3 p.m. And yes, glory, Tottenham Hotspur. Glad to see we've got some Spurs fans in the crowd. I don't know if that's a blessing or a curse. Drew and I were still comparing notes on that. Amir, do you have a favorite Premier team?
I've always supported Newcastle.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, that's how did you come to support them?
Always been a big Shea Given fan as a kid, so I have an Irish side to me. I was born over there, so I followed him as a kid, and
You were born over there?
Yeah. Mother's from Dublin. I was born in Ireland. Yeah, so came over here in 1984. So yeah.
Hey,
Wow.
that's good. 1984. You came over with George Orwell? What?
No, yeah, came over. Yeah, my parents in a suitcase. That's it. Yeah,
There it is. There it is. Well, yeah. My dad is from England, is
Very
London,
cool.
so that's the Tottenham part for me. And then
Got
Drew's
it.
got his own story of how he found the sadness of Tottenham Hotspur.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Oh boy. Well, thank you for being here with us tonight. We really appreciate it. Again, thank you all for tuning in this evening here to The Lair, your official podcast for Lorain County Leviathan FC, part of the Land Multimedia Group. Also want to just mention right off the bat, thanks to Dick's House of Sport, a proud sponsor of the Land Multimedia Group. Be sure to get out to Strongville Dick's House of Sport. It's not just a store, it's a destination. Coach Kettani, you are the assistant coach. You're the goalkeeper coach. For those of you, just as a bit of an introduction, this is a Northeast Ohio. Well, technically, you're not a Northeast Ohio native since you were born in Ireland, but you grew up in that. You grew up in Kirtland. He went to Menor Lake Catholic High School. You played college ball at Ashland University for one season, then transferred to Cleveland State, where you lettered. I read from 2002 to 2004. In 2004, you earned first team Horizon League after leading the league in saves. And you've been the assistant, the head assistant and goalkeeper coach at Cleveland State, as well as the head coach for Lakeland Community College. And you've spent the past 4 years as the assistant men's coach and goalkeeper coach to Coach Blake New over at Oberlin. And yes, Coach Amir, my guy. Thank you, Mike Wilkes. He is out there. He is our man behind the scenes, part of the Land Multimedia Group. Thank him for everything. And yes, the assistant gaffer, as you are. You like that title?
Sure, yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
All right, and look at this, and see, Amir, you should be proud. We got our guy, Mike over in the UK. He's in England. It's after midnight there. going on 1 a.m., but he is part of one of our other podcasts, Going Nuclear, full-blown coverage of the land. But we talk everything, but he is all up on Cleveland sports. So we've got him into the Leviathan, and we're excited for tomorrow's action. We watched a little bit of the game against Steel City. And so, again, I just thought we'd kind of go through a little bit generally here. What are, as a coach, what are some of the traits you look for with kind of the specialty on goalkeepers? Or do you look for a certain size, a certain mentality? Talk to us about that.
Yeah, I like a guy who's obviously very comfortable with his feet, working out of the back. So a lot of guys, obviously, the guys we have they're big boys. But that's not necessarily the biggest trait I look for. It helps, right? Obviously, when you're 6'6", 6'4", and 6'3", but to be comfortable with their feet, to be communication's massive. I always say the bread and butter is between the ears. It's the way you think, the way you communicate, the way you help your teammates out. So because at this level, everybody can make saves. It's the little things that different make you different, right? That change you to the level that you want to go to. So yeah, so that's kind of the way I like to. The biggest thing is communication, distribution with their feet, obviously, and obviously good shot stopper. That's the basics to it. So yeah.
So you'd be a fan of Marv Albert saying a kick save and a beauty.
Yeah. Anything with a clean sheet, sometimes it doesn't matter. Not everything's gonna be pretty. I always tell people that. So yeah.
We understand watching goalkeepers that are not pretty.
Yeah.
Especially as Spurs fans, we're well aware of these things. How do the goalkeepers on the Leviathan squad fit that mold for you? We know that Zoltan Nagy started against Steel City, and that was a 0-0 draw. So you got the clean sheet there.
Yeah, Z was big, man. Especially for the team. We've only really been together for a few weeks, molding together. He came out and he commanded his box. He did what he needed to do. Not everything's gonna be perfect, like I said, but he adjusted well, he communicated well, and he made the saves in the certain situations that he needed to make. Big and small, right? So sometimes people see the big save, but that's kind of part of the gig, right? It's the little things that go the longer way, in my opinion. So,
and speaking of the little things, as you're working with Z and other goalkeepers for Leviathan or at Oberlin or anywhere you've been along the way, do you give any special direction or instructions to your backs and the team in terms of how to best set up for the goalkeeper to set them up for success? How do you integrate all of it? Not just the goalkeeper, but just keeping the goalkeeper in mind, speaking about how to set up for a set play and so on and so forth.
Like set pieces, yeah, just I always tell the guys, keep your head on a swivel, right? So communication is huge. Know, what your right back, what your right center back's doing, left center back, left back, holding mid, depending on what formation we're playing, who's playing the back line. But it's not just always the back line, it's the guys in front of it too, because people forget, oh, well, the back line's not having a good day. Well, there's 6 other players in front of them defending too. So people forget, like, oh, it's the holding mids, it's the outside back, it's the forward. They all have to defend as we go. So the last case scenario is obviously the goalie. So you have to be able to kind of be the backbone, the spine of the team, So is that probably a better explanation for it? But I always like to say, like, hey, like everybody has to be involved, not just guys who defend, So
right. So you're saying it's a team game.
Yeah, I would say it's a team game. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I like to tell them, the guys, hey, like, think about it as you're the quarterback, right? Yeah. So you need a quarterback goalkeeping. You need a solid goalkeeper, because if you're going to be shaky, those guys aren't going to have confidence in you as much, and they're not going to be able to maybe play as free or make a move or make a decision that they know that, hey, like, if it's Patrick or if it's Z or if it's Steven in goal, like, they know that they're going to have their back, right? Like, it's that kind of it's a hidden confidence, as I say, right?
Yeah, you want to make sure your goalkeeper's super confident. You can play the ball back to him, because as a former wing back myself, like, I had a goalkeeper who was horrible on the ball. The confidence to try to play it back to him, it's like, ooh, I'd rather just kick the ball out of bounds. Not play to him.
Not good. Yeah, not good.
Yeah, it's never a good thing. you said it a minute ago, with kind of being a brand new team and basically having a week or so to train and get to know each other. How kind of difficult was it to kind of grow into the game and get those nerves out?
Yeah, I think it's just guys are. I mean, look, everybody here is either playing at a good level, played at a
Yeah.
good level, or is trying to play at a higher level, right?
Mhm.
So it's a feeder system. So guys want good film, guys want to be able to play in a good team, and they want support. So they got to show up, and at every aspect of it. So that's a big part of it, which helps us. So when guys come in, they know that okay, either they're going to go back to their school in the fall and try to keep their spot or make that team better, or they're trying to go play USL one or MLS next or MLS. And then the guys that are coming through high school now, they're going to be going freshman in college. So there's always a ladder. There's always a ladder of improvement and getting better. And that's why I wanted to do this. It's just fun. So
Yeah.
yeah, everyone's at a good level, and you're going to be playing players at the same caliber or better as you go.
Absolutely. Yeah. And speaking of that, what would you guys be looking to specifically improve, you and the coaching staff upon your next coming match against FC Buffalo, who drew Akron City?
Okay. I mean, just to get more familiar with each other as we go. Every session we get to know each other, kind of the flaws, the good, the bad, and get more confidence, right? Get fitter, get stronger, get faster, work better in transition, little things like that. Yeah. So we're slowly improving and doing the right things. So.
Right. What were some of the positives and negatives from Leviathan's season opener versus Steel City FC? Again, as I mentioned earlier, it ended in a draw, 0-0. But positives, negatives from your point of view.
I would say that the positive, I'll start with that, was just coming on the road, right? New team. I didn't know much about them. I guess they had a pretty good run the past few years. So going 0-0 anywhere on the road, especially with a newer team, that's a big part of it. But the guys, they buckled down, they fought, right? They didn't give up. And that's big for me, especially game one. Guys weren't afraid to express themselves and say, hey, figure it out, or hey, do this, or hey, do that. So the negative, I mean, I don't use like the word negative. I like to say, things you can work on. Yeah, like we obviously there's things we need to do. We made some transitions that we needed to make. We maybe fitness, little things like that. But yeah, like that's part of the game, right? Like, if you were in preseason for a month, you wouldn't be as hard on yourself. So.
Right. And Drew is more the soccer expert here, a little more when it comes to the tactical side of things.
Right.
With his playing experience, but it appeared, at least early on, it certainly looked like Steel City had some. I know it's generally different players from even the season before, but they've got. This wasn't their inaugural campaign. This is their their second season, and they seem to control, at least at the outset. But at least by the second half and after the video feed came back on, Leviathan was playing better, a lot more opportunities there. And I guess is that a pretty good, fair assessment of things? What adjustments or things did you have to say at halftime that maybe made that difference?
Yeah, Coach Blake, we both decided a 3-5-2 formation would give us a little bit more of a role, a little more freedom. We took a gamble later on in the game with no subs left when we subbed everybody else on. Saying, hey, let's just roll the dice here with 20 minutes left, because if a guy goes down or something happens, we got to play a man down. But we decided, hey, we got nothing to lose right now. So and let's go at them, because there was holes we saw. But yeah, for the most part, they were pretty proactive the first 20-25 minutes, which I get. They're thinking new team, we're going to try to get on these guys quick, put their heads down, get a couple in the back of the goal, and then, say la vive. But I think we fought them and we battled them, and we'll see them again. And film's film, right? You made an adjustment. It could have went either way, but yeah, we did the best we could, and we were both, I think, very happy with the result.
Well, that is good. I guess what that took some cojones to make that kind of a bold move, to make all the substitutions and leave yourself with no wiggle room in case somebody, as you said, went down. You'd be playing a man down. That's a bold move, sir. That's bold.
Yeah, I mean, we were going for the win. I mean, that's what you do. You want to win.
Yeah.
So
Is it like what Herm Edwards says? You play to win the game.
that's it. Or in Herm Edwards' world, you got to know your role, do your job. So it's just a little bit of both.
Oh, I thought that was The Rock. Know your role and shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Oh, I went completely different angle out there. This from Bailey Major, who is part of Leviathan. Amir,
Yeah.
was like Roy Kent out there. Okay,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Nice. Appreciate everybody for tuning in again. Thanks for being a part of The Lair, your official podcast for Lorain County Leviathan FC, part of the Land Multimedia Group, proudly sponsored by Dick's House of Sport. Moving forward, tomorrow afternoon, the home opener. First of all, and you kind of got into this, how was the practice at the stadium tonight? Because you said to us before we started, this was like the first time a lot of these guys, even you, getting to see the pitch out there. Talk to us about that.
Yeah, it's a cool little spot. I was super impressed. I think it'll be fun tomorrow. I mean, the weather's supposed to be nice. It's a holiday weekend. Hopefully, I believe a lot of fans will be there. So yeah, it's something new. The guys are buzzing. Yeah, I think just the opportunity to once you get there, see it. Like it's like Christmas Eve right now. Tomorrow's Christmas. That's kind of for a lot of people right now. So,
Will you be wearing a kilt in the parade to the stadium?
I will not be. Sorry.
Will you be playing bagpipes?
No, I will not be playing bagpipes.
Oh boy, what is? I know that only one game played for Leviathan and only one game played for Buffalo at this juncture. What's the scouting report without giving any strategy away? First of all, what's the scouting report on FC Buffalo for the fans out there?
Yeah, I mean, they're going to come in. They're going to work hard. They're going to give us a game. I mean, just like anything, right? These are the same thing. They're college kids trying to prove themselves. And as I told the guys, and I will tell them again, you never know who's in the stands. You know, the MLS scouts, USL scouts, agents, players that are recommending other players. Like, it's just kind of like, it's a big transfer window for all these guys. So as I always say, you try to put zeros and commas in your name on a check. And this is what these guys for FC Buffalo and for our guys have to do to go to the next level. So it's always going to be a battle, in my opinion.
Yeah. When you watch the film, are there any particular players that stood out from FC Buffalo, either by name or number, that we as fans might be looking and going, okay, yeah, that guy might be somebody that's potentially at any point given moment could do X, Y, or Z?
Well, I always tell people this, and I'll be frank. The football is a game of opinions.
I thought your name was Amir.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Mike, your name is Amir.
It's a game of opinions. So, you know, I could say this or say that, and you could think I'm wrong or right. But yeah, they're going to come. They're going to give us a game. I mean, they're going to want to get a W, get the 3 points on the road, and you know we're going to have to battle with them.
Yeah, and I know that Mike Wilkes again said you're calm and collected on the field. You're normally calm and cool and collected on the field. Little different, you know. You're kind of. He says you're a little bit fiery. Is that so?
Well, you got to turn it on, right? You know,
I agree.
You got to compete, right? So when I always tell people, you know, you're different in the office, but when you're out there trying to make it happen, you know, you got to be able to, you know, express yourself.
Express yourself. Oh, sorry. Darn it. I'm just going all over the place here. This is just too fun here. Too fun. Speaking of that, coaching methods. Do you find that you have to model or vary your coaching with players and their personality to get the best out of them? Because obviously you can have guys that are both very talented, but respond better to different ways of coaching. Do you have to kind of deal with that, to put it nicely?
Yeah, it's like being in a job, right? Everybody's a different personality. You know, some guys you got to, you know, grind out a little bit. Some guys you just got to have a joke with. Some guys you got to sit down and just, hey, how's your day going? You know, it's just kind of, it's like you're a psychologist too. You know what I mean? When you're a coach, you know, some guys are down. Some guys broke up with their girlfriend. Some guys, you know, yeah, it's a wide variety of stuff. And obviously with the game changing in the past 20 some years with kids and social media and stuff, yeah, you just gotta You got somebody got to put your arm around them a little bit. So,
Huh. Is that how you were coached, or how did you respond best as a player?
I mean, yeah, those days were not there when I was a player. No way. That was a little rougher. You know what I mean? So I always say the way I was coached by certain people, but I would say I became a better coach because I learned what not to do.
No, that is fair. I think that we were just having a discussion about some comments made from De Zerbi, the new manager for Tottenham, and who
Okay.
led them to fend off relegation. Talking about, what does he say? What was it, Drew? If you don't,
He said, if you, I have to look it up.
essentially, if you don't learn from history, you're doomed to repeat it. But he said, if you don't learn from history, you're stupid. Is that what he said?
Yeah, he said if you try not to forget the future, then you're an idiot or something, because like you should never forget, or if you forget the past, you should never forget the past, because if you forget the past, you're an idiot or something. Because he watched the reminder of like, hey, look, yeah, we were in a relegation battle, but we're not gonna be like, okay, next season's a new season, we're just gonna forget what happened. Like, no, you're gonna remember what happened, and you're gonna use it as fuel to the fire, and you're gonna use that to be better.
Yeah, I had some good mentors for sure. Don't be wrong. I mean, it wasn't just all negative. Yeah, you take the good with the bad and you move on. So that's really kind of it. But yeah, that's when I got into coaching. You know, you learn something new every day. And as a coach, you know, sometimes you think, hey, it's all about I'm going to do this, and then you're like, wow, that was a terrible idea, and then now you adjust. But some coaches don't do that. They just stick to what they always do.
Exactly.
So so I would say the better players adjust.
I gotcha. Philosophically, as a goalkeeper, do you feel that guys perform better when they're more engaged in a game, when it's a tight game, versus maybe if you've got a few goal lead?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where they're at. I mean, that's a broad question, because sometimes in the goal, right, you get a little bored when it's 4 or 5-0. Yeah, that's normal. Yeah, like that's just common sense, right? So, but
Well, I didn't say I did. I asked good questions all the
yeah,
time.
no, that's okay. Yeah, but yeah, like obviously you want it, but you want the W. So that's the way I look at it. So sometimes the games will be easier, but sometimes you got to grind it out, right?
Definitely. You said there's a buzz around the team. What's the energy level at? Like, compared to the game the other night on the road, what's the energy level at? Is it the same? Is it higher? How are you feeling about these guys heading into tomorrow, comparatively speaking?
Yeah, they're bought in. Yeah, they're bought in. They want to be there. They want to compete. They want to win. And I think it's also too the new guy on the block. You got a little bit of a chip on your shoulder, right? Because like these guys, or the last game we played, they probably didn't know what to think of us or what to do. You know what I mean? And we kind of came in there and did the business from that perspective, and then hopefully we keep it going tomorrow. But yeah, guys are just they want to compete. They want to win. They want to be here. So and the organization's been nothing but great. So they've been backing us whatever we needed, helping us with whatever we have to get, if it's a player or if it's here. So it's been the support's been there, which is it's a good thing. It's amazing actually.
That is fantastic to have that kind of support. Do you feel like what you've seen in practice, it sounds as if they're in a good space and they're ready to play into it's going to be a pretty good crowd, pretty nice crowd there. I'm sure they've played in big games and in front of a lot of people, but how does that play into it so that they maybe don't get too amped up, but are they ready for the moment?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys play at pretty high levels, so they're used to they have the pedigree. But until you step over that line, right, and then you got to compete and play. But yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, listen, this is new for a lot of us, so it's not like we've been here and done that. We've coached, but tomorrow will be something new. The first game ever there played, I believe, a soccer game. So
yeah.
So,
yeah, I was just watching the MAC baseball championships that were being played there this weekend. And
who won? Who won the MAC?
I know the final. Well, Toledo knocked out my Golden Flashes.
Okay.
And I assume they were playing Western Michigan, but
Sure.
maybe not. I can't recall off the top of my head, but it wasn't my team, so I'm kind of bummed, and that stinks, and so on and so forth. Maybe they'll get an at-large bid to the College World Series, but that's how the cookie crumbles sometimes there. you're playing there. You said it might be the first soccer match there. As a goalkeeper, you've probably played in many different environments. Do you have any issue with the turf field and how it plays versus grass?
Yeah, turf is always a little bit quicker, and it's nice turf. I think they said it's only a year old, so it looks in great shape. They played well today. We like to play to keep the Blake style and Carl style. Also, he like to be on the ball. So by being on the ball, that quicker grass or they like the field turf, whatever they say, turf, what do they call it? It's better for us, right? So the thicker stuff kind of limits us a little bit. We want the ball moving around. We want the possession. We want to be more attack driven.
Right. It looked like they talked about the field. We talked about it with Blake last week prior to the match in at Steel City, and he was talking about them having a grass field and maybe it's
Yeah.
not always in the best of shape. From what we were watching, it looked like it was kind of thick, and maybe the
Yeah,
ball
it
was.
was.
And I know it was wet too, but it didn't look
Yeah,
like the ball was moving as quickly.
yeah, it was thicker. I mean, that's a challenge too, but I mean that's their environment and that's what they play with. So football's football, right? You got to play. So no matter what surface you're on. So
Right. And what tips do you give goalkeepers and other players on how to handle the way maybe the ball bounces on the field turf versus grass, etc., or other
yeah,
types of playing surfaces?
you just look at your boots, especially like if you have studs or molds or whatever you have to feel. You really have to in your pregame. You really have to maybe put a couple different boots on to see what it feels like when you're cutting, when you're planning, when you're sliding around. Where on turf, you're pretty much playing with your set style of boot, right? So that's a big part of it. And just yeah, it was a little wet there, but I'm just getting used to the skid of the ball. But again, like we're not. This isn't these kids' first rodeos. Like they've played on grass fields their whole lives. It's just depending on what it is. But the footing's pretty big especially for I know for goalkeepers, but just field players in general. So that was a big one.
Yeah, and the weather, is that another factor? It seems like it's going to be all right tomorrow. Um, that shouldn't be an impact. I don't
Yeah,
think.
I mean, as long
Correct.
as it doesn't snow, we'll be all right. Yeah, I'll be all
I think you're going to
right.
be all right. I think you're going to be
Yeah.
all right. And I popped up the comment there. Yeah, and Northern Illinois won the
Oh,
baseball.
cool.
And
Nice.
yes, it is the first pro soccer match in the
There we go.
stadium's history. Okay, let's see here. So Drew, you got something on your side? Yes.
Yeah, I mean, well, when it comes to the rain and weather, especially on the new turf and whatnot, I know you guys might have gotten a little wet earlier today, I'm sure.
Mhm.
With that new turf, does the ball skip a little bit differently than it would on like a different kind of like average turf or like a more weathered turf and grass or is it just kind of similar?
It's pretty similar. Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
there's
cool.
not much to it. Yeah, because a lot of times, like you see, like these guys a lot you play in football fields, so sometimes the lines
Yeah.
aren't the same. But yeah, it's nice stuff. Yeah, I was impressed.
Yeah,
Well, the
I just like
drainage
to know that.
drainage is probably pretty good, right?
I'm assuming, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure you played on some nice fields in high school, though, right?
Well, back when I played, I had to say, like we never played on turf. Like even in college, when I was in college at Cleveland State, we played on grass.
It's kind of interesting. And what do you think about that from the perspective of the World Cup coming to the U.S., coming to North America? How they said, we're not doing this thing with turf. You're playing on grass. Whereas when the Women's World Cup was hosted here, I don't know if it was the U.S. or North America, but there were definitely fields being with turf. And this time around, they're like, no, 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 not going to do that.
Yeah,
What do you think about that?
yeah. I mean, grass is obviously if you play soccer, you always prefer to play on grass, right? That's the number one thing. So, but it's probably above my pay grade. But those guys make a lot of money, and those players are worth a lot of money. So the insurance policies are probably saying don't play on that. So that's my
Especially
guess.
the Meadowlands, especially the Meadowlands.
Yeah,
That field turf has a history of tearing up
right.
career-ending, season-ending knee injuries for
Yeah.
players and such.
I mean,
Um,
grass is ideal. I mean, that's what anybody a nice grass pitch is what you'd like to play on.
yeah.
right. And speaking of just all this extra or soccer is definitely growing in Northeast Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and first of all, I guess I should ask, um, since you grew up in Northeast Ohio, I mean, did you have fond memories, or did you ever go to the Crunch games? What was your
Yeah,
exposure
yeah,
like to that?
that was cool as a kid to go run around halftime with the balls and stuff like that. Yeah, that was pretty cool stuff. Yeah, I mean that's what I remember, driving out with my parents and then playing at halftime, or was it before the game? They kind of did that with everybody.
Oh yeah, sometimes they'd have like a game at halftime. You go down
Yeah,
there, and then after the game, you might be down on the field getting
yeah,
autographed or whatever. That it was always a great experience, and things are really blossoming. Not just Leviathan, but we're talking about all the teams in USL too. The fact that Cleveland Professional Soccer. How exciting is that for you to be able to tell your players not just about the USL two? You're talking to your players at Oberlin, but looking at it from the perspective of we're getting we're supposed to have an MLS next team, and
yeah. I
and
mean,
and then and then on the women's side of the Women's Premier Soccer League, the WPSL Pro. But how exciting is that to be able to say, folks, there's opportunities right here in our backyard that
yeah,
you could grow into.
yeah. You said the word right there, opportunity. Where a lot of times, a lot of places don't have it. When I was coming up, there was I think like only like 14 MLS teams and then a few USL teams, and it's like try to make a roster or a practice squad or to really get to where you needed to go. It just was not close to impossible, but it was a lot harder. Where now there's so much opportunity for younger players to get it at an even better level, and that's the thing. The better coaches should be at the 7, 8, 9, 10 year old. That's where the best coaches should be, not at the older ages. That's the thing they need to do a better job with. Whereas with all these opportunities now bring the right coaches in to coach these young kids and young women or girls, sorry, at that level to now build that opportunity to put Cleveland more on the map. So it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Are you going to be going to if you're in town? Are you planning on heading to the exhibition, the pre-World Cup exhibition at the down at Huntington Bank Field?
I'll try to get some free tickets off somebody first. Yeah.
Hey, I think
But
hey, I'm all for it. Free in my one of my
yeah.
mottos is free is good.
Yeah, I mean that's awesome. Cleveland's doing that. I mean, I went to a national team game. It was like 5 or 6 years, or maybe longer than that. One, I forget who was it. Was it Belgium? Were they in town with the U.S.?
It may very well have been.
Was it
Drew, do
Brown
you know?
Stadium? Yeah.
Oh, I think because I remember this. I was at it was the Gold Cup, I believe. It was like Trinidad and US or something, I believe.
Okay.
Because
I thought there was one even further. Maybe it might have been 10 years ago. It was like Belgium versus
yeah,
I don't know, but yeah, but it's awesome. I mean, I think the opportunity for everything they're doing it's awesome. It's a step in the right direction. Is that a better way to put it?
It's all a good way to put it.
Yeah.
It's all an excellent way to put it. I know that last year they had a lot of fans, a big crowd go down to the stadium when Inter Miami played there.
Yeah. Yep.
Messi, of course, to catch him there. And how do you see soccer growing in the United States? You hit on it a little bit about the coaching at the lower levels. There's a whole thing around soccer and the cost of entry into getting into the right leagues and so on and so forth. Any thoughts on how that can be changed and where to even start so that it's not just about the people who have the means to pay to be in these leagues and to play these travel soccer leagues to still get noticed. It's no longer you play for your high school, you get recruited, you go to college, they see you. It's so different now.
Yeah, there's more opportunity for sure, but I mean, the financial piece that's a tough one. That's a tough because it's obviously people that have these clubs and these whatever they are teams they have to make money to support their organization, their business, and as a coach you have to get paid to coach, right? So, but when it comes to the process, there has to be some type of like even keel, like level. They have to figure that out, But I don't. That's kind of the $1 million question, to be bluntly honest with you. I think not just in Ohio, but everywhere, because I believe if you're with the MLS clubs, you don't pay to play for like MLS clubs, and I'm assuming it's like that with maybe the USL Pro teams, their youth academies and stuff like that, and so on. But Yeah, the youth level. I mean, I live in Bay Village. We just moved here recently, and they have a massive youth. My kids are 6 and 4, so they're that little guys. But yeah, I mean, I don't think they charge very much, but just maybe charge a smaller fee, and then as they grow, they move on. But I think big corporate sponsorships always help, right? That kind of could hurt, helps. I mean,
It
that's
helps
kind of
defray
my
the
two
cost. It
cents.
helps defray the cost.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and again, if you want to get the best players, you don't want to have that barrier to entry where, oh, you don't have the money, you can't play.
that's a
You,
tough
you
pill to swallow. I would agree. Yeah.
it's troubling. I told this to Coach, to Blake. My niece, she plays Division 1 at Gardner Webb, but she traveled. She played in ECNL, and
Okay.
she doesn't have any siblings, but traveling all over the place to all
Not
these
cheap.
tournaments and stuff. It's expensive. It's very expensive.
But again, like other sports do it, like hockey, basketball,
Yeah,
baseball. Like, so it's just youth
no,
sports in general, right?
all of it, and it's kind of crazy how that has morphed. And Mike, always on top of it. U.S. played Belgium in Cleveland in 2013.
I was
Lost
there. Yeah.
4-2. I was at a game at the old Municipal Stadium when the U.S. men's team played Bayern Munich,
Oh wow. Very
and
cool.
I think Jurgen Klinsmann was playing for them. And
Yeah.
my dad had some choice words for the officials. He told one. He said that his mother reads the meatball. We still don't know to this day what that really means.
Yeah, I don't know.
But nevertheless, nevertheless, I think at that time maybe Brad Friedel was in goal for the
Oh,
U.S.
really cool. Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Amir and Drew, do you have anything else? I don't want to cut you
No,
off.
no, no, no. Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Well, Amir, Coach, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me. It was awesome.
And best of luck tomorrow. Best of luck all season long. We are going to be watching along with you. Drew's up in the area, so you'll probably get to meet Drew in person. I'm a little bit further away, but if I get up to Northeast Ohio and I'm there on a game day, definitely we'll try to get it.
Yeah, that was the game I was at. 2019 Trinidad Tobago Gold Cup.
Oh, nice. Cool.
Okay,
Yeah.
there it is. There it is. But Coach, thank you so much for your time and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you very much. And so that's going to do it for us here tonight. For Coach Amir Kettani, for Drew Hagenbaugh, I'm Ethan Greenberg, and you have been tuned into The Lair, your official podcast for Lorain County Leviathan FC, part of the Land Multimedia Group. Thank you, and until next time, we'll see you later. And I can't hit the end screen.